And now I'm seeing another hospice patient right.
I also updated my room. Good morning. So, I'm gonna do a day in my life today, and I'm seeing 2 of my infusion patients. They're both new start of carers. The first patient's gonna be a one-time infusion for Stellara, and the second visit's gonna be for hydration through a midline, but I'm gonna teach them how to do it at home. And I might see like hospice patients in between depending on how the day goes, but I do have a lot of time in between. My first patient is at 11, and then the next patient's not till 4. So come along with me and see how my day is. I also updated my room, so everything in here is like 80% new. We finally got a bed frame, which we didn't have, but I lime washed the walls and my friend helped decorate it for me. And today we're gonna be wearing Fabletics scrubs. I need to steam it because you can see all these lines. This was brand new, so I'm gonna steam this. I'm a little late. I need to leave in like 5 minutes. They're my scrubs from today. They're from Fabletics.
So I'm
sponsored by Fabletics.
It's going to be a first
and
infusion.
the thing, this is a one pocket top.
This medication is going to be
in their
infused for over
Caribbean
60 minutes,
blue
but I do have to administer a pre-medication. Since it is a start of care, I have to sign consents with the patient. I collect my vitals, I do my head-to-toe assessment, and I explain to them exactly what's going to happen during the infusion and during the visit. After the consents are signed, I start a peripheral IV, and I also collect labs. And the pre-medication for this patient is just a loratadine, a 10 milligram, which is Claritin. So I give him that, and then in 30 minutes, I start the infusion. In between, I am reconstituting the medication. Stellara is given to GI disorders such as Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis. The pharmacy sends the medication over to the patient, and then I come the next day to do all of this. So basically what I'm doing is I need to draw out about 104 mLs or whatever amount of medication you're putting in. You have to draw out the normal saline from the bag, because if I add more fluid into the bag, it's just gonna be too much and it'll break the bag. So I have these 50 ml syringes. I'm using about 2 to pull out 104 mLs. Then I drop 104 mLs of the medications, which is about 4 vials. It does take a lot of time, about like 10 to 15 minutes to do this and prep the medication, and you need to make sure that you have a peripheral IV before you do all of this, because once you reconstitute it, you only have 4 hours to use it once you put it all in the bag. So it's so important that before you reconstitute any medication to secure a peripheral IV that works good. Because for my very first infusion, I actually reconstituted the medication and couldn't start an IV. So another nurse thankfully was able to come within the next hour or so that the medication doesn't get wasted. So if I did reconstitute the medication and wasn't able to start an IV and a nurse couldn't see this patient for the next 4 hours, then the medication does have to go to waste and the pharmacy has to resend everything. But first they have to get it approved by insurance. So most likely it won't be another day or 2 until the new medication gets delivered. So here you see me injecting the Stellara into the normal saline bag. So that's why I had to pull out the normal saline in order to put the medication into the bag. Now for the Stellara infusion, you do need to add a micron filter. So the micron filter is able to filter out any additional particulate matter, bacteria, or air emboli for this infusion. So after 30 minutes of administering the pre-medication, I started the infusion and then checked the patient's vital signs every 15 minutes for the next hour. After infusing the medicine for 1 hour, I discharged the patient, removed the peripheral IV, and the patient tolerated the infusion well. Since I was in the same area, I decided to go by and see one of my hospice patients where they live in a memory care unit, and every time you visit a facility, you always have to fill out these forms. And so I went into the memory care. They're always locked. You always have to doorbell at these facilities so that the patients who have dementia or in the memory care unit don't run away.
What time is it? 2:36. My phone correct on me. I still gotta fix that. And I saw my infusion patient this morning, dropped off labs, and then since I was in the area, I stopped by and saw one of my hospice patients for a research visit. And now I'm seeing another hospice patient right now. And it's just a routine visit, super quick, super easy, unless anything happens. Then after this, I'm gonna go and I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. All I ate was like half of a Barbell. This is pretty good. This is their creamy crisp protein bar. And I'm trying to lose weight because my husband and I are going to try to have kids soon. And I'm trying to stay on like a high protein diet and cutting down on my carbs, just doing a lot more cardio. I'm going to go grab some lunch and work a little bit after this patient, and then after that I'm gonna go see my last patient of the day, which is at 4, and that is another start of care. And this patient has a sub has a midline, a single lumen midline, and I'm gonna teach them how to do hydration at home, and it's gonna be 3 times a week, I believe. So I'm gonna do that and see this patient, then I'll see you guys at a coffee shop or wherever I'm gonna get food. Sorry, babe, I'm recording. It's 5:36 and I'm home. I picked up my first meal of the day. Taco Bell. I got the crispy cantina chicken for protein. Ooh, it actually looks really good. It's like cheesy with chicken. First official meal of the day. Oh, and they give this like salsa. So I'm gonna eat this, and then I'm gonna change into some comfy clothes, and then go to the gym. What time did you want to gym? Like a 8? You want to gym at like 7:30?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gymming at 7:30, and I will take you guys along to the gym with me. Alright guys, so let me open up my laptop here. I'm in my robe right now. Sit. Louis, sit. He's Louis. Hey, my window is like right there, and like at this time in the evening, there's like people always outside, so he starts going crazy. Kind of the day. A very busy, not a very busy day. That's just like a medium busy day today, because I did mix up visits between my hospice patients and my home infusion patients. There is some times in between where I can chart, or during the visits I chart, but sometimes I get caught up with like doing small things, like catching up on sending out any notifications to my clinical manager or anything about my schedule. I'll be working on that, texting patients. So sometimes when the visit is like an hour to 2 hours, I don't really get a lot of charting done. I try to if I'm able to, but a lot of that time is spent like reaching out to my clinical manager about visits and like schedules and like orders and things that I need to follow up on. I saw 2 hospice patients today and 2 home infusion patients, and my 2 home infusion patients were start of care, so it was my first time seeing that patient. The first visit was for a Stellara infusion, and the second patient I saw today was for hydration. The patient does have a midline, a single lumen midline, and I taught the wife how to disconnect them. The infusion is to run for over 4 hours. It's just 1,000 ml normal saline bag, and the patient is a wife, and the patient's wife is a current nurse as well. One thing about like home care, home infusion, hospice, anything like that is having family support is very big at home. If they don't have that, it just makes the care require a lot more care, a lot more visits. The patient needs more attention if they don't have as much support. But it's great to see families who are willing to take on the responsibility or help out when it comes to me going to their homes to teach them how to do home hydration, like management of TPN, management of, J2 feedings, like those things. So that's very important when it comes to home care. It's about 6 o'clock, and the reason why I'm in my robe is because if I change into comfortable clothes, I'm literally gonna fall asleep. So I'm just gonna try to get a little bit of work done and then head to the gym in the next hour and a half. Today we're hitting legs, and I recently got a gym membership just to get back on the working out grind, and we found this gym that's super empty like at nighttime, so we usually go between 8 to 10. And so that's what I love about working 8 hours a day 5 days a week, is just because I'm able to tolerate that a lot better, and I'm able to work out at the end of my shift before getting tired.
And that's what a full day looks like working as a home infusion nurse. I hope you guys liked it and see how much flexibility I have with my job.